Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Peloton stock, and I actually made an analysis on this company a couple months ago maybe, and what I was kind of saying is that they had had a huge anticipatory run up because of the fact that the pandemic and this economic downturn with everyone at home was kind of poised to send their company to the upside here and was honestly looking very, very positive for them to get new customers in the short run, and especially those subscribing customers that stay along with a company in the long run here. However, it kind of looked like they were being poised for a triple top pullback here, and you can see right here it was kind of building one, two, three tops. However, their company, instead of coming down like how I expected, it looks like they kind of broke that pattern here and are heading towards the upside. Now, one major reasons why they might be heading towards the upside is because Goldman Sachs actually raised their price target from around $85 to 96. So the company has a lot more room to grow now as far as what analysts think might happen and as far as potential upside into the future. So one of the other main reasons that is moving their company as of right now is earnings. Now, with a lot of these companies and especially with the S&P breaking into all-time highs here within the last week, we're going to see a lot more earnings kind of have a positive spin on them. Now, with Peloton, we know that they've added around 210,000 new users as of last quarter, and that's going to be pretty substantial here for their growth in the short term and long term here. Now, their estimates are not out yet. However, on Earnings Whisper, they are showing very, very positive movements and a lot of positive analyst ratings from people thinking they're going to be hitting above their expected earnings. And as you can see from the previous three here, they're actually very, very close to breaking even and to actually be producing a positive earnings on their, a positive revenue and positive just of the company in general here in the next few weeks here. So I'm keeping a very close eye out on their earnings report, which will be coming out September 10th. So that's around 11 days from now. And I think they can have a huge run up. However, you can see that the company was listed at around $29 in just February of this year. So the run up they've had so far is absolutely monstrous. They're up over 170%. And for that reason, you can't just simply buy in blindly to this company. You're going to want to wait for an ideal time to buy in. And for that, I always rely on my technical analysis here. So as always, guys, this is the free version of tradingview.com, so you guys can know that you can do this analysis as well. This is not just me because I have a fancy platform. It's because it's a free platform and it's a very, very strong tool that can potentially help you beat the market here. So one of the main things I was looking at with Peloton is some point where maybe they had a little bit of resistance or a cool down on their monster run. Now, the first point I actually identified fitting this criteria was around this $45 to $50 range. You can see that they were kind of paused for a few days and maybe even up to a week of just going back and forth here between the 49 and 43 range. And honestly, I thought that they might see some kind of I thought they might see more resistance and maybe come down to this support they have here at 35. However, they broke up to the upside with some very good news about customer acquisition. And with all this all-time highs on the stock market, a lot of these companies are just going to run for no reason. So I was looking for a second point of resistance here that we could potentially trade off of. And lo and behold, within the last few months, from June to around right now, August the 29th, we've seen them break into this kind of channel here where they're trading between 70 to 75 and with lows at around 60 to 59. So I was kind of taking a close eye out here. You can see that this channel is very well respected, and you can even stretch it back all the way to around January or February, where you can see that the channel is somewhat respected. If we do draw it to the bottom here, you can see that they kind of had some small bounces, and this is also where they were having that high around $49, where I was kind of telling you guys that they found resistance here. However, you can see that now the channel, instead of being a bottom, or sorry, a top, it's now becoming a bottom, a point of support instead of a resistance. So that's one of the key things that we kind of like to look at here as technical analysis and as traders, is when a point of resistance becomes broken and is now acting as a strong support. So that's why I have a lot of confidence in this channel. However, you can see that now we are at the tippy top of the channel, and what this means is that we are at a critical point for Peloton stock coming up here in the next few days, 2 weeks time frame. Because of the fact that they're having their earnings, this is going to be a positive catalyst trying to push them to the upside, looking for around maybe $80 to $90 here before their earnings report. However, you can see that this channel has been very well respected in the past and is signaling that we might see some kind of a pullback to potentially the $70 or $72 range. So what I would personally recommend is keep a close eye out on what's going to happen Monday at open and coming from Monday to Friday, because they're going to have to be in a position to score by the time that earnings comes around. Now, what I do think will happen is that they will retrace all the way back to this halfway point where you see they've had a lot of resistance. However, after they hit the halfway point, which is around $72 to $73, I think they will see a large bounce to the upside as they continue their earnings run. So watch for any sort of small pullback on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week as they kind of settle down from this huge run up they had last week. And once they settle down, it's going to be one of the best opportunities to buy in before they continue their run up to earnings. And this is a company that I think will produce some positive earnings. And with that, the stock is going to move very heavily. They have an analyst rating and an analyst buy rating up to around the $96 price range. So anything below that is going to be a win and is going to be a good long-term position. So it's always going to be very clear and very key to keep an eye on these critical levels and these critical events, such as an earnings, which can potentially push a stock all the rest of the way up to what an analyst expects them to be worth. So just keep a close eye out on this stock. Short term, they're very good for a swing trade. Long term, you're going to want to be looking at how they do on their earnings and how they're going to progress here within the next few months as a lot of people do start returning to work and as the economy does start to begin operating again. We're going to have to be keeping a close eye out on whether or not Peloton subscriptions continue rising or start to kind of pull back a little bit and normalize here within the next few weeks, as we've seen some insane growth quarter over quarter during this kind of pandemic and during this quarantine. So just keep a close eye on this stock, guys. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and thanks for watching.